Good morning, everyone. Is my voice is audible and clear? Yes. So, in next couple of minutes, give you a quick status updates or the progress in the chat. Then we'll start the today's meet. So yes, could I see that everyone completed the yesterday's code labs and finish up with your works. So yes, now we'll start the today's part. Before that, I'll give you the link of the today's code labs. So just give me a minute. I'll share my screen and I'll give you the links in the chat. So give me a couple of minutes, guys. I guess everyone can see the links right in the chat. So before meeting ends, make sure to note it down the link somewhere else, or else you'll be missed out the link. So before the meeting ends, make sure to note down the links. So yes, I guess my screen is clear and visible for everyone, right? Yes. So in the today's meeting, we'll look into the things. We'll go with the next part, that is adapting the different screen size. How we add the different screen size, how we generate the screens for the different size of the mobile phones, tablets, and all, for laptops and all, how we adapt the screens for that particular part. Now we are going to look those major aspects. So in this code lab, they have given the two three YouTube videos. You could have watched it on your own. So rather than that, they have given the three code labs. The third one is with the first code lab is like building an adaptive app with the dynamic navigations. Second, we are going to learn how to build an app with the adaptive layouts. And third, they have given you for practicing purpose. So we'll go one on one. We'll complete today in the today's meet. We'll complete third and fourth code lab so that We could have practiced the fifth code lab after the meetings are done. Is that clear for everyone? Yes. So we'll move to the first code lab, that is building an adaptive app with a dynamic navigation. So yes, before we start, let's start with a question like, have you ever noticed that when you open the same app on your phone and on a tablet or on any PCs, it looks completely different. For example, YouTube, WhatsApp, mail, and all. Why does this happen? Is it a different app? No. Having the same app also will see the different things from the different phones, tablets, and laptops and all, because it's the same app also, but it behaves differently. And that is exactly what we are going to learn today. So the today's topic is building adaptive app with a dynamic navigation. So an adaptive app is an app that changes its layout and navigation based on the screen size. Yes. So an adaptive app will change the navigation and the layouts based on the screen size. As I said, uh, for the tablet we have different screen size. For the mobile phone we have different screen size, and compared to one of the mobiles also, some mobiles we have AMOLED display, some of we have curved some of other displays, and also based on the screen size it behaves like this. And also, not it's based on device, but it based on the available space. And this is a very important concept for the modern Android development, because today users are not only using phones, they are using tablets, foldable devices, large screens, and all. So if your app only works well on a phone, then it's not a complete app. When you're building an app, you should think of in whatever the screens they are using, it should fit for every aspect. So as I said you right now, it should compatible with every device, every different screens, like as I said you, mobile phones, tablets, PCs, and large screens and all. So yes, it has to work for all the parts. In fact, it has to work with the foldable devices also. Yes, now we'll move on to the next part, that is app overview. So see, they have given an reply app introduction and app overview. Is they have You could see reply app is a multi-screen app which resembles an email client. So which resembles their email client, with it has the multi screens over here. As you can see, they have given over here where it says it contains a four different categories which are displayed by different tasks, namely inbox and drafts and all. So yes, give me a second, guys. So yes, coming back to the point, as we are discussing, they have given an app overview, and also you can see where it says it contains four different categories which are displayed by different tabs, namely inbox, send, draft, and spam. They have built it app in such a way like this. And also you have to understand what exactly you're building. So like we are building a simple app with majorly two parts, the one with a list screen and one with a detail screen. Now here here where the things are getting more interesting. So like on a mobile phones, when you click an item, it will go to a new screen, or you click, if when you click on any features or anything, it will go to the new screen. But on a tablet, it will not go to a new screen. Instead, it will show the details on the right side because of the screen size, because of the screen part. So see, when it has a enlarging screen, when it has a sufficient screen space, when you click on something else, it will show beside on the screen itself, where the details and all will be pop up over there only. But as in the mobile phone screens and all, as it's not more enough sufficient screen space, it will move to the next space. So basically, mobile mobile, when it comes to mobile, one screen at a time will just go over there, while in a tablet, two screens at a time will consider in that particular area. So when it comes to a real life analogy, imagine reading a book. Okay, now see, on your phone, you see only one page, but on a tablet, you can see two pages side by side. So this what's exactly you're building. So yes, you have to think in such a way that compare the mobile and tablet to a book, where if you're reading a book, while meanwhile watching a mobile, you're just looking or just reading a one page. Meanwhile, uh, in the tablet, you're reading two pages at the same time. So this is what the overall app overview just says. Moving next to the next part, that is starter code walkthrough. You can see they have given the instructions, and also at what exactly line you have to replace the codes and all. So make sure that read the things clearly and read the instructions properly, and make sure to replace the correct things with the proper part. Now, before going to next slide, now let's talk about the starter code, where you can see that in some real companies you will never start from zero, where you will always get an existing project also. So your job is not just coding and all, your job is to understanding the existing code. So now in this startup project, you will see some UI screens already created and some data already provided, and also some basic structures already set over here. Your responsibility is just to understand what each part is doing. So don't rush to code. First observe, and then think it of yourselves, that what is this screen is doing over here, and where is the data is coming from, and how the UI is structured. So research on that particular areas, and also that you will be a very good a good developer and all. And so read more code than the write. Yes, so they have given the starter code and also walkthrough of the starter code over here. Go it clearly and make sure you're going in the correct instruction and correct way. Next, coming with the next moving to the next slide, that is change screens without navigation graph. See, in these also, I'm repeating once again, make sure that when you're working on in the Android Studio, make sure that the instructions what they have given in the code lab, you're following correctly one by one. Not don't mess up or don't mess it up, because you will get confused and there will be more bugs and all. So go slowly, go clearly, and build clearly, so that you will get an idea, and you will also be more confident when you're building your major projects. As you can see, they have given all the instructions one by one. Open the starter code in the Android Studio, and also do this. They have given all the step-by-step instructions, so go it clear and properly. So yes, coming back to the topic, that is change screens without a navigation graph. So, like, now we are entering very important concepts. Most of you think navigation means nav controller, routes, navigation, graphs. Yes, as we discussed, you should have come across with all these particular terms as we discussed in the previous class. So yes, but today we look into something different in the today's meet, where you can navigate without using navigation components as like nav controller, roads, navigation graph, and all. Yes, you heard it right, guys. In the Jetpack Compose, navigation is just changed in state. But I'm repeating the same thing. Let me repeat the same. The navigation is just a change in state. For example, if I have a variable like current screen, and I change its value from list to detail, so the UI will automatically change. Why? Because Compose works on something called recomposition. As everyone knows, across everyone should be knowing this term recomposition, as this word come across many times when we are discussing the labs. So whenever the state changes, the UI updates automatically, like, so this flow is like when the user clickers goes to the state changes, and when state changes, it moves for the UI, recomposes, at last the screen changes. So this is the flow, how it works. So technically, you didn't navigate, you just change the state, and the UI reacted to it. So this is a very powerful concept, because you control navigation using the logic, not the framework. Yes, and also you could have see here how the things gonna work. See, in the reply home screen composable in reply home screen.creative was wrap the reply app content with a composable and if statement for when the is showing home page properly of reply your state object is. So you could have see here for the reply home screen KT, what are all the major things you have to concentrate on over here, what are all the things that have been given over here. And also they have mentioned one more thing, that you must now account for the scenario when the user is not at the home screen by showing the detailed screen. And also they have again changed the things. They have, you could have see, they have added a else statement with the replying detailed screen, compared to the previous part, that is they have first only having the composable function and the if statement. They also added the else statement. Looking over here, you could have see here they have been given an example over here. When they click on the screen, it moves to the next particular screen, explaining the complete details of it. And they have also given the reply detail screen for the next part, how it's going to be done. So this is what the change screens without the navigation graph done. So now, running apps on a large screen device, make sure that to follow the instructions clearly, as you know all the terms. Make sure to do the exact same thing when you're working on your Android device, sorry, Android Studio, so that you will not mess it up, and you will be in a correct direction or in the correct way. So I guess this is a very easy part, because as everyone already knows how to create a virtual how to create a new virtual device by going to device manager and by selecting mobile phones. So there, instead of phone, I guess you should have to select the resizable experimenter like this. So no worries, they have given step-by-step instructions. So while doing it, go with the clear steps and all. So in this particular part, they have majorly explained how you will run an app in the large screen devices. Now you are working on the resizable emulator. That means it is not compatible. It is a free size. It means a large size screen. See, now comes a reality check where many developers build the app only for the mobile phones and they'll never test on the large screen and all. So, but when you run the same app on the tablet, the UI will break completely. There will be no clear structure. For example, the app what you have built in the Android mobile phones, the same particular thing will not be going to look or will not be displayed in the tablets and all. When you run on the tablets or the different screen, it completely gonna break over there. So the things will be like spacing issues, alignment issues, and sometimes content looks stretched. So testing on a large screen is not an optional, it's a mandatory thing. So because your app should just not work, it should look good everywhere in every different screen. So this is the reason why you have to test on the different screens. Moving to the next part, make your laptop, sorry, I'm sorry guys, make your layout adapt to different screen size. So how you gonna make your layouts adapt to different screen size? As you can see, they have given the range breakpoint ranges and the minimum window size class of the columns and all with the minimum margins. As you can see, they have compared some of the differences over here. Use the window size classes where it helps with the different window size classes, one with a compact mobile phones, then medium with the tablets, and expandable for the PCs and laptops and all. So this is what they have given the different things. So make sure that you are following the correct instructions and building the same exact things what they have given the instructions over here. They have given some of the coding parts. Make sure you're working correctly for the to uh, build or to adapt the layouts to the different screen size. Yes. So now coming back for the some of the understanding concepts in this particular slide, that is, we'll just understand how actually the UI gonna adapt over here. So the biggest mistake we all gonna do is we only design UI for the device itself, but the correct approach is we have to design the UI for a space. Let me explain. See, instead of asking, is this a phone or tablet? We have to go with how much space do I have. We have to understand in this particular way. As I said, instead of like asking this is a phone or tablet, we have to ask in such a way that how much space do I have? Because even phones today come in different sizes, as I already said this point earlier itself. So you have so we use something called screen size classes where it comes with the compact, medium, and expand. As you looked over here, compact, medium, and expanded. So now based on this, we decide a layout. For example, if screen is small, it will show one column. If a screen is small, it will show one column. If the screen is large, it will show multiple columns or two columns. So UI becomes flexible over here. So think it of like a water. It takes the shape of the container. Yes, you have to think in such a way that so majorly understand that uh, the one thing that is concentrate on how much space it requires, how much space do you have for adapting the screens of the different layouts. Now, implementing adaptive navigation layout. So as you can see, currently the bottom navigation is used for all the screen sizes, what they have given instructions over there. So as you can see over here, so this is what a navigation rail is, and another navigation component by material design, which allows compact navigation for primary destinations to be accessible from the side of the app. Yes, you could have see here, they have given some of the window size classes with a few items that is compact width for the bottom navigation bar and medium width for the navigation rail and expanded width for the persistent navigation rod. As you can look over here, this is the thing what you gonna see after you build it and after you edited some of these coding lines, what you're looking on the screens. See, now when after you doing some of the modifications and some of the updates in the code, then when you run the app, you will look, yes, when you run the app, you're gonna look the run the app in the tablet mode, then you should see the following screens like this. You should see the screens in such a way like this. So this is what it says. And also in this part, you will implement a navigation rail where we have come across the term navigation rail in the upper part itself. So the navigation rail is for selecting the medium width for the window size class. So for the medium width of Windows S class, they are using the navigation rail. Make sure that adding of that and editing all the coded parts over here. And then when you run the app in unfolded foldable mode, then you should see the following screen in such a way like this. So this is what in the two different screens, how they adapted the layouts they have given over here, one with the tablet medium part and another one with the folded part. So now this is the most important part also in the today's meeting where adaptive navigation. Like we have to ask the questions in ourselves like should navigation be same on phone and on and tablet? After reading all these things, a question will arise that will be like should navigation be same on phone and tablet? So this will be the questions in such a way in our mind gets in like this. No, exactly not. There will be no same navigation for phone and tablet because user behavior is very different. See, on mobile, we use bottom navigation, we move between screens, but on tablet, we don't want to keep switching screens again and again. Instead, we want everything visible, so navigation changes. So let me explain clearly. On mobile, if we click an item, it go to new screen. But in a tablet, click item, update the right side itself. As I said you the brief about this and the starting itself. So in a tablet, as I said you, when we click item, it's like update right side itself. So it's like a more book what we had, what I said you earlier. So book is just like if in the mobile we are reading a one page, while in the tablet we are connecting or we are reading with the two pages at the same time. So, navigation becomes selection instead of transitions. So, this is a big shift. And also, you're not moving between screens, you're updating content on the same screens. So, just a minute, guys. So yes, as we were discussing on the things, so yes, as we were discussing on the things that is implementing adaptive navigations for the different layouts, as that was I'm saying. So this will be a like a big shift where, see, you're not, as I said, you're not just moving between the screens. So you're updating the content on the same screen. And this is what modern app does. So that's why the Gmail, WhatsApp, YouTube feel so smooth, and it's so the working condition or the flow of the smooth conditions of those particular apps and all. It goes very feels so smooth on the tablets compared to the mobile phones because they don't navigate; they just adapt. So this is the reason what it does. So this is what about the this concept implementing adapting navigation for layouts. So check it once while updating the things and all. They have given the solution code. So now once you complete your implementation and all, you can check the solution code, but don't just copy it. Instead, do check some completion things after. Go with just reference part. That's it. So yes, let's summarize everything what we learned in the today's part, that is adaptive app with a dynamic navigation. Let's summarize everything quickly. So we understood that app should not be fixed; they should be adaptive, and we learned how UI changes based on screen size, how navigation changes based on layouts, and how state can control navigation. And most importantly, we learned to think like a modern developers. And also, let me end with the last line of this code lab, that like the best apps or the great apps, just they don't just runs on devices, they adapt to users and all. So yes, this is all about the first code lab, that is building an adaptive app with dynamic navigation. So let's move to the next code lab, that is build an app with an adaptive layout. So yes, again, we'll start with the new code lab with the question itself. Have Sorry, guys. Yes, this is the same connectivity of the previous code lab itself. The same question, that is opening an. Have you ever noticed or open an app on your phone and same app on the tablet, and does it feel like a completely different experience? For example, opening any apps with the same app on the mobile phones and tablets like Mail, YouTube, WhatsApp, Insta, and all. So see, on mobile everything is stacked, but on tablet everything is spread out beautifully. So the question is, are they building two different apps? No, exactly not. They're building one app itself, but with the adaptive layouts. And this is exactly what we are going to learn in this particular code lab. Building an app with an adaptive layouts. So in the simple words, adaptive layouts means an app that adjusts the UI based on the screen size. It will compatible for any different screen size, either mobile, tablets, PCs, and all. Based on the screen, the UI just get adjust on the screen side, and it will be not fixed design, and there will be no layout for all, but it's flexible, responsive, and intelligent UI. So yes, previews of the different screen size. They have given some of the preview for creating, how to create a preview for the different screen size. They have given the coded parts over here for the preview to build a different screen size, to make sure that you should go with the proper instructions. So now, before writing the coding, you need to visualize how your app looks on the different screens. Because if you only design for one screen, your app will be breaks on the other screens, as we discussed in the previous code lab. So you have something called uh, something called preview, where everyone knows what's the preview. As we at the starting building a starting app itself, we were looking on the preview things and all. So yes, so now preview majorly allows you to see UI without running the app. So this is the preview. I guess everyone knows about preview, right? In the starting of the app itself, we were come across the preview, and after that we have gone through emulator. Instead of running itself, we could have see the UI without running. So this is preview, which is a very uh, helpful and all. Yes. So now imagine this. You can simulate small phones, large phone, and tablet also, and all inside your IDE. So that means you can design once and verify everywhere in this particular area. So now here's an important thing you have to do is, you don't just think that you're building for a phone. Just think it off in such a way that you're building for a multiple screen size. Not you're just concentrating on building an apps for the mobile phones and all, but you have to now concentrate on building the things for the multiple screen size and all. Coming to the next part, that is implement adaptive content layout. They have given them coded parts, so make sure that you are working clearly and correctly, uh, all the coding things and all. Yes, now we are entering to the major concept or the core concept of it. So when it comes to adaptive layout, when it comes to an adaptive layout, see, if we have more space, should our UI remain same? No, because the space is just an opportunity. More space is equals to like more content visible. If we have more space, the content or visibility of the content is more. As you can see on the screen, as you can see on the screen over here, the screen size of the tablet is very large, so the visibility of the content is more. As you can see, the second one, the content, she has been a very long content, but in the mobile phones you couldn't see that long content in such a clear and clean professional way. So that's the thing what I'm explaining. The more space is just like a more content visible. So now how do we do this? How do we achieve this thing? So we don't check the device, we have to check the screen size. This is very important because today even phones, as I said, you even phones comes in the different sizes and also. So instead of doing if device is a tablet, you just say if available with this large. As I said, you if the space is more, instead of saying do you have the tablet or mobile phones and all. So now based on that, you change the layouts. For example, on a small screen, as I said you, it shows one column. Large screen, it shows the multiple columns and all. So this is what how you do over in this area. So now verifying the how you verify for a different screen sizes. Now building UI is not just enough, because you have to verify it, because sometimes what you think is correct, but it's not actually correct on the real devices. So verification is very important. You should check the major things and all, like alignment, spacing, readability, touch, accessibility and all. So the one more thing, the questions as arrived is, a UI that looks good on phone can look terrible on tablet. So always the thing is you have to test. Never, don't just assume, you have to test it. So because a good developers, they don't guess, they verify and they'll implement the things. So add automated tests for the adaptive apps. So now we are go on. Now we go one step further. So see, testing adaptive layouts. So because manually checking every screen size is not practical, so we use automated tests. So these tests ensure that UI elements exist, layouts behave correctly, and content is displayed properly. So now think about this. If your app behaves differently on different screens, your test should also validate different behavior. So this is advanced thinking you have to do, because now you're not just testing the UI, you're testing the adaptability. So the important thing you have to understand is testing ensures your app behaves correctly even when the condition changes. So the testing is very important. Make sure the add these coded lines and all, and make sure to test the things if it's going in a correct way or not. Don't forget or don't mess it up any of the instructions given over here. Follow clearly instructions so that you don't get mess it up and all. They have given the solution code for your reference and all, so we go it with that. Yes. So let's quick summarize the things what we discussed in this code lab. Basically, we started with the understanding why adaptive layout is more important. Then we learned how to preview the different screen size, and how to build a flexible UI, and how to adapt the layout dynamically, how to verify across the devices, and also how to test adaptive behavior. And most importantly, we change our mindset, like from building from one devices to building for all the devices over here. Yes. So this is what we have gone through. This is all about the today's meeting, that how you will build the screens for the different layouts, not just for only one particular screen, but or just for all the different screens and all the different compatible devices. So this is what you're gonna do. And they have given some of the code labs and the things project and all. So work it on yourself for the practice purpose. You could have go. It will help more for you to get more idea on these particular things. So I guess everyone knows what the today's task is. Just to complete the code labs what we have gone through. Complete all the code labs and work practice on the things and finish it up all the code labs, guys. So I guess is that clear for everyone? Yes. So thank you, and all, guys. It was a good day. So thank you, guys. Um, yes. So thank you. We'll catch up in the today's evening and all. Until that, work on these particular code labs and also thank you, guys.